Hello, I'm Claire Dow, Chair of the Friends of the Pembrokeshire Coast National Park, and today I am walking the last section of the Pembrokeshire Coast Path. I've now reached Tenby, and today I'm walking to Amroth, about 7.5 miles. It's a beautiful day. We're on August the 12th, 2024, so it's taken me basically a year. I set off in September 2023, the purpose being to record the whole of the coast path in all of the seasons in different winds and weathers. So we're finishing in August. Beautiful day. South Beach in Tenby is not yet full, but I'm sure it will be by the end of the day. So we're now going to set off walking through the town. We can get some of the way on the beach, then we've got to go through the town, and then we'll drop down onto North Beach and up and round all the way through to Amroth via Saundersfoot. So, for the final time, the 20th section, off we go. We've now walked along the esplanade a little way, and we're looking across St Catherine's Island, looking at the Victorian fort. We're then going along here. We're not able to walk the whole length of the beach today because the tide is in, but if you look forwards you can see the bandstand that was in use in years gone by, when it was fashionable to parade in the evenings. So as you can see, glorious day, sun on the waves, a few fishing boats out, and if you look back you can see where we were, which is Giltar Head yesterday, and then to my left here, that's Caldy Island. We're just checking to see if we can go down these steps onto the beach, but as you can see the tide is still in enough not to be able to go around on the beach, so we'll go back now through the town. But Tenby is full of wonderful little alleys, full of Georgian houses and alleyways.
I keep thinking you're talking to me.
Very, very spectacular place. So here we go. We're going to go around here, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, up a little road up here towards the church, which I'm told is one of the earliest and biggest medieval churches in Pembrokeshire. So we can see the steeple. I've not actually been in it. Probably haven't got time to pop in today.
Well, it's up to you. I'm not in a rush. So
that's okay. So we're going along the back streets, colourful houses. Do we go right here? Yep.
Yep.
So we're just basically following the coast. We're following the coastline, but round, as it were, around the houses. Lots of flowers out. It's looking very pretty, Tenby, and there's certainly quite a lot of tourists. We've just seen the double-decker bus with the open-top roof, which apparently has been running for 3 years between Saundersfoot and Tenby, and apparently you can use your bus pass on it, so that's noted for future. Look at all these beautiful flowers. And then I think we're into a main drag now, but I guess we'll be going straight across somewhere and down the steps. Yeah, possibly past the merchant's house. I know where I am. Yeah. Okay, here we are, main drag. As you can see, it's quite busy. And then we'll be going left again in a moment. Just looking down across the harbour. One of the reasons Tenby is here. A very busy, well, still a busy, fairly busy harbour today. And then we're going down now towards North Beach. As you can see, lots of people around. Sunny day. Little chapel here. See the boats in between. And up above, the Georgian houses and the steeple of the church. So look at that for a view. More Georgian houses, lots of boats in the harbour, and lots of people about.
Not do this for them.
We're now looking across the harbour. I'm told that these sailing boats, there's a regatta about to start, and we can see some of the boats just setting off, which is quite fun. It's very busy down here. I've never actually walked along this bit before. That's quite nice. We've got our local guide with us today, being Carol, who's next to me. Who's lived here for many years, so it's actually quite useful because I wouldn't actually know to come down here or even to go across this little bridge.
Yeah,
And now we're starting to get
People grabbing or doing
no interest to you, but that's my husband's boat with the Union Jack.
Which one with the Union Jack? Okay.
The big red one.
Oh,
It's
right.
not working because obviously he's broke today.
Is it the one behind the red or behind?
No, this
It's
one.
the red one.
The red one.
The red one.
MSS.
Okay, lovely, fantastic. And we're looking across to Allen's View. I'm saying that because we're hoping we may meet the Vice President of the Tenby Civic Society, who's going to explain to us a bit about Allen's View. We'll see if he's there when we get there, and we're not walking very fast, but hopefully he'll still be there. So looking up at the town, what marvellous views they had. All of these houses perched on the rock above. We're now walking along North Beach. You can see there are lifeguards, but they're standing there, and there's flags out, so it is a fairly safe beach. Good beach for families and children. It's nice to see the lifeguards doing their jobs. I think as parents it gives you a bit of peace of mind, certainly, when they're out there. And Tenby has many lifeboat stations, a very old one. Actually, we can see them now.
Yeah.
A very old one, an old one and a new one. I think this is the old one and new one, and somewhere else there's a very old one. I'm not quite sure where that is.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's probably just there. So yeah, I think it's had 3 lifeboat stations in all. And I think the one with the red roof, I think was on a programme where it's been turned into a residence, I believe.
Yeah, they spent millions.
So here we are on North Beach. So we're saying goodbye to Tenby now. Beautiful skyline, beautiful sunny day, people on the beach, elegant houses overlooking the harbour, and we're going up a lot of flights of steps. My app said yesterday that I'd walked 119 flights of stairs. I don't really think of walking in terms of flights of stairs, but today we're certainly starting off in the morning with a steep flight of stairs. I've just met Harry Gardner at Allen's View. Hello, Harry.
Oh, hello there. Yes.
And he's just going to explain to me about Allen's View and possibly the Tenby Civic Society as well. So if you'd like to explain where I am.
You're north of Tenby, up on the top of the first main hill, and just by Bowman's Point on the coast, which is where the cliff is.
Right.
And the coast path stays away from the cliff because people bought the land and put houses on it. And the path went round the back of them.
Right, okay.
So it's between hedges. The first part of the site was given in 1965, and it was the triangle we're in at the moment, if you like to swivel around and show around. All this triangle was donated then to the Civic Society. The rest of the site that we actually own now was given originally to the landscaper, Peter Hainsworth.
Very beautiful.
Of Grandiflora in St. Florence. But he gave that to the Civic Society, so now the whole of the site running right back to the view at the north end of the site is all owned by the Civic Society. The trees she planted were mainly things like Monterey's, Scots pine, unfortunately some Leylandi, which proved to be a heck of a nuisance, and we had to have them cut down. But there's a lot of natural growth as well, and there's quite a lot of home oaks and a lot of natural growth in terms of trees.
So can you explain? I mean, it's called Allen's View, and it's after Jess Allen. So who was Jess Allen?
She owned the site.
She owned the site.
She had the bungalow called Clovers just across the site by the sea with a lovely view from it. The view of the sea is from there now.
Right.
And there's no trees blocking the view there.
Right.
So yeah, she was there. She moved there in the 1930s. She was one of the staff on Cheltenham Ladies College.
Okay.
So
that's
she ran
interesting.
quite a lot of arts events here in Clovers as well. So yeah, so she donated this part between Clovers and the Coast Path to the Civic Society, and that makes Allen's View, which is about a third of a hectare. Sorry.
That's very interesting. Well, thank you very much.
That's lovely.
I'm just having a look at the Tenby Civic Society 50th anniversary 2015 benches. They're rather beautiful. We've got some other people coming to have a look around the site. And if we carry on now through Allen's View, we'll have a look at the rest of the site. So we've got a panel here telling us about all the trees that have grown here and all of those that are self-seeded. And we shall now carry on through the site.
Just the right time of year with the crocosmia flowering.
Yeah, the cacophony are everywhere. Lovely orange flower. And we've got a lovely little woodland path going through. More benches, so plenty of places you can sit down. This one's more shady, but I'm sure it's lovely on a summer's day to sit in the shade. Around here, if you can see, we've got sculptures of various birds. So I've just had pointed out there's a red kite that's been carved from a tree stump, rather splendid.
From a Leylandi.
From a Leylandi, okay.
It was a real nuisance.
I think that's a better use for a Leylandi,
behaving
quite
itself
honestly.
now.
That is a much better use of a Leylandi. A beautiful red kite. Okay.
And we've just started a new project. So wind up this path. We've had some blackthorn trees, a whole group of them.
Oh gosh.
Close together, and they all died. So we cleared them. And we decided to have two clearings and plant some well-happened trees. So we've just made this path.
Oh, it's lovely, isn't it? It sort of goes on and on. And
They are lovely, aren't they? So we've got Welsh apple trees, 5 in this section, and over the other side of the main path there's 4 over there.
okay.
So we've done some planted some ground cover, but of course nature's providing her own ground cover.
Of
as well.
course. Yeah, if there's a gap. Do we have to turn around or do we
No,
get out?
we've got-
Okay, we're carrying on. It's quite a reasonably large plot here.
So we've been planting in quite a lot of stuff here, some of which is evident. You can see there,
Yeah.
and there's some primulas in here, but of course it's the time for them to die down. And this is the kind of thing we have to do to save money, is improvise a water collection feature,
Okay.
which works quite well.
Actually, it just drips off there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're now stopped at a viewpoint looking over Monkston Point. We can see Greenfields ahead. And I've just been told about the renewing of the fence to make it secure. So there's a very new green fence in front of us. Just climbing the hill and looking back onto Tenby. Beautiful sunshine. You can see we've gone a reasonable distance so far, although we did have a stop having a look around Allen's View, which was a beautiful little garden. So that's where we've been, and this is where we're going, up the hill, on our way, Saundersfoot next, and eventually today. I've just met some walkers who are doing hopefully the whole of the coast path. If you'd like to say hello and who you are and what you're doing. Yes.
Hello, my name is Sybil. I'm coming from Germany, and it's the first day of the Pembrokeshire National Coast Path, and I'm hoping to finish it within 12 days.
12 days. That's a reasonable ambition. I think it's quite possible to do that. And she's with a friend. If you want to say hello as well.
Hello, I'm Christine from Berlin. I'm only joining Village for 2 days. And
But you'll get 3 days worth of beautiful Pembrokeshire, so, and in the sunshine at the moment.
Yeah.
So, well, I wish you all the luck with walking. The whole thing every day has been beautiful, and I live here, so every day has been fantastic. Here we are, we've popped out of the trees and the bracken, and we're back on the coast. And look at that, we're now looking back on Tenby a bit further away and onto the sea. We can see the regatta in front of us, all the sailing ships going round, markers. Again, they're very tiny, you might not be able to see them. And onwards where we're walking towards Amroth. Beautiful day, beautiful turquoise sea, absolutely lovely. Well, I've just stopped at about the most steps I've ever done in one go, literally, and I've travelled many places throughout the world, so you've got a long way down. Just bumped into a family who are walking the Pembrokeshire Coast Path on holiday, I believe. Would you like to tell me what you're doing?
Yeah, so we started at Saundersfoot and we've come round the path.
I'll just stand here because it's in the shade there, yeah. So you just started at Saundersfoot and you come round from there.
Yeah.
And where are you going today?
We're trying to reach Tenby
Trying to reach Tenby, yeah, it's possible.
and maybe take a bus back to if we can, or if we have the energy. I don't know if we want to come back.
Yeah, you should be able to do that. And again, the beach is at Tenby. It's nice to stop in Tenby anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, we've got a lovely day for it. It's not due to rain. Are you camping? I'm just guessing, or not, because it was thundery last night. Is it thundery here?
It was thundery. We were in our cottage.
Yeah, it was thundery because I woke up to thunder last night, even though we were in St David. So, no, well, I hope you have a lovely time. You've got a long way down and a long way up. The up is on not steps; it's slopes, but it's steps on the way down. Okay. Thank you for talking to me. We've just got to the top of the hill. We can see now the coast, and we can actually see Amroth, which is the settlement directly opposite. Not sure how big it's going to come up on the pictures, but we can see where we're going now. So we'll turn left and basically go along the shore when we can, if the tide allows us, or a bit inland up if we can. I'm told Wiseman's Bridge and that area, the landslip has now been repaired, so we'll be able to walk under the tunnel, so that should be fun, and I'll show you that later on. We've just sat in this beautiful little cove by Roadwood eating our lunch. We can see Amroth directly opposite us. Roadwood is sheltered and so is spectacular. There isn't sea salt on the woods, and it's really a beautiful woodland area all around this side of the coast. Just coming down into Saundersfoot Harbour. Looks like we can walk on the beach for a bit. Tide's out enough to get to the harbour. Fairly busy beach, active beach. It's a nice day. A lot of people, children playing on the beach in the rock pools, etc. A few stone steps to go down, and then we're onto the beach. Lovely fine sand here. And the beach is a lot more full nearer the town. There's a good harbour wall there. I think we can see over to the tunnels now very clearly. And Amroth to my right. Just looking through Saundersfoot Harbour. Boats out there. And the town. We've now just left Saundersfoot Beach and about to head through the tunnels, so it will get a bit dark as we go through. There we go. A bit echoey as well. And out the other end onto the walkway. beach is in full swing below. Again, we've got lifeguards this end. This is a nice family beach with no dogs. I think the dogs are up the other end. Lots of families playing. Lovely day. Lots of people in the sea. Into a second tunnel.
Do you want to go ahead because I've got the baby?
Lots of locks.
That one has the gates on it.
Right, second tunnel's a bit longer. Just about to see the light at the end of the tunnel. No lights on in here, it's quite interesting. Oh, yes there are, there's some red lights every now and then. We're now into the sunshine. Lots of rocks below. Gradually making our way round to Amroth. A nice path to follow, no cars. Very nice stretch to walk along. And it's in the shade as well, so for a hot day it's very pleasant. You can see the bit ahead has had much work on it to keep the rock falls at bay. So this might have been what the recent work was doing. You can see that there were landslips and quite a lot of engineering has gone on to put the metal mesh on to stop further landslips. Quite a bit of engineering. And there's also to the left little strips here as well.
Yeah, but how big rock?
With metal all the way along here, metal fences to stop any boulders and rocks coming down and hitting the people walking the walkway. You can see the substantial work that's been done here to stop the subsidence and to stop the rock fall. That's an interesting little room there. So all the way along here we've got the wire fencing bolted on to the rock. Here we are at Wiseman's Bridge. I think we'll only get a few signs like this left. Coast path both ways, cycle path both ways, bridleway, and a map of where we are. We've now, the only place forward is Amroth. So Amroth, here we come. We've now come out into a lovely lush section for our last bit of path before we hit Amroth. We can see the sea through the cedar trees, and we've got a lovely grassy path in front of us. Very lush. And look, the sky is blue. Beautiful day. We're now going down steep steps down to Amroth. They are metal steps so that they don't rot, but it's quite a way down. And they're circular or winding because of the gradient. Very winding. Look at the steps in front of me. Incredibly winding. Must have had fun putting these steps in. But just imagine going down here without them, it would have been very difficult. We're now promenading along Amroth. You can see the tide is out. We've got a reasonable path straight ahead of us. Everybody's out because it's a sunny day. So I think the coast path ends at the other end of the village. So we have to go all the way through. Look at the glorious beach of Amroth. Tide out, beautiful firm sands, This is the last stretch of the Pembrokeshire Coast Path National Trail.
If you look back from here, you can see Tenby.
Oh yeah, if we look back, we can see the church spire, which is where we started today, all the way round. And you can see the whole coastline that we've covered today. It's certainly a nice beach to come to, as there's not that many people on it. You get a lot of beach to yourself. There's Amroth Castle to my left. And we'll continue down here now until the trail stops. I'm now just recording the last few meters of, or 2 meters of the walk. I don't exactly know where it stops. We're still going along the beach at Amroth, and I'm told there is a plaque to mark the end, to mark our walking 186 miles at least, although the book does say if you've done all the detours as well, it's probably more like 200 miles. So let's see if we can find the end of the walk. That's welcome to Amroth. I think that tells you all about the history and the coal mining. Oh, here we are. This may be it here. Sorry, excuse me. That's Amroth community. We're going to see lots of notices here while we're looking for the actual end. That's not it either, is it? Oh, wait a minute, probably this is it. Pembrokeshire Coast Path National Trail, Amroth Community Council. This might be the end, marked here. Pembrokeshire Coast Path National Trail, and it says Amroth. I'm pointing to the end here. This shows the map of the whole of the trail. So I'm guessing, not a good guess, that we've come to the end of the trail. And here we are, another sign that definitely marks it. Pembrokeshire Coast Long Distance Footpath, Poppet Sands. It says 180 miles, although my book says 186 miles. Opened by Winford Vaughan Thomas in 1970. So there we are. This is very definitely the end of the road. So it's been a fabulous 20 sections. I started last September. I walked 2 or 3 sections a month. It is now August, so I've walked in every single month of the year and finished in August today, August the 12th, 2024. It's been a splendid walk. I hope you would like to perhaps do the walk yourself sometime. The details are set out on our website, but it is a really marvellous experience. So from me for now, goodbye.